I'd like to call the meeting to order, the regular meeting of the County Board for August. Would you please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody and any guests we have here today. Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Certainly. Bruner.
Here.
Chittick.
Here.
Farnham. Here. Lorenzen.
Here.
Luddington.
Here.
Patrick.
Here.
Voigt.
Here. We do have a quorum, so we'll proceed with the meeting. We have next on the agenda the minutes from July 12th, regular meeting. You have had those, gentlemen. I need a motion to approve those minutes as presented.
So moved.
Derek moves. Dan seconds. Assuming you're ready to vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Does carry. Thank you. Next, we have the claims against the county. You've had those documents. Any questions or discussions? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims against the county.
So moved.
Derek moves. Andy seconds. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. Next, we have the county board member claims. You've had those documents in front of you. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve those claims.
So moved.
Derek moves. Andy seconds. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are carried. Next, we move into the public comment portion of our meeting. I'd like to go and define that. We do have a policy to limit those discussions or comments to 5 minutes. Welcome anybody in the audience that has anything that they would like to address the board on. Okay. Hearing none, we'll move into the highway resolution portion of our meeting. The first item is resolution authorizing the county board chairman to sign a BLR 05611 construction engineering agreement for federal participation with Knight and Associates for the construction engineering of CH 33 as herein described. Do you want to just briefly describe that? I know we've discussed it on Monday morning, but just so the audience understands and see if there's any questions.
Yes, we're putting together the package for the construction engineering on the Prairie's Edge project. This is one piece of that package. This is for construction staking. This is Knight and Associates for a little under $25,000, which is about a fifth of the total construction engineering. I anticipate that we will bring another construction engineering agreement before you next month for material testing. And again, we're trying to get ready for a January letting on Prairie's Edge, and this is one piece of that puzzle. So again, you're just voting on construction engineering staking with Knight and Associates for 24 inch and change.
Any questions, gentlemen, of our engineer? Okay, to entertain a motion to for this resolution.
So moved.
Dan moves.
Second.
Derek seconds. Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Luddington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
6-0.
6-0, the resolution is approved. Next, we have a resolution authorizing the county board chairman to sign BLR 05320 Economic Development Program Agreement Amendment 2 on CH 33. Do you want to, and herein described?
In discussions with IDOT late yesterday, this is a 50-50 split with EDP monies to move Ameren's poles north of Maple. A little over $20,000 to move them. This amendment would free up half of that to be paid out of EDP monies. In discussions with IDOT late yesterday afternoon, as we talked about Monday, we didn't have this firmed up. It looks like the last amendment may cover these costs. So I'm going to ask the board to table it until next month.
Any questions about that before the motion? If not, I'd entertain a motion to table this
So moved.
resolution until he gets the question answered.
So moved.
Carl seconds, Derek moves. I said that backwards, but you got the deal. Okay, all those in favor of tabling this resolution for the time being signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It is tabled. Thank you, Aaron. Next item on the agenda is to appoint Pete Spung to the Board of Directors of Rides Mass Transit District to represent Edgar County. We have a motion.
I did see Pete the other day, and I thanked him for accepting the appointment.
Appreciate that.
I
Yes,
just have one quick question on that, and it's not a big deal. I know the Rides Mass Transit District covers a lot of counties. Do they have one representative from each county, or do we have one? Okay,
yes, sir.
it's just the one from Edgar. Okay.
I did entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Pete.
Oh,
Okay,
Lud.
Lud moves, Dan seconds. Okay? Any further discussion on the appointment? All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It is approved. Augie will get a letter off to them, and we'll thank the member that's leaving, and the letter's already made out, so. Okay, next item is to appoint Jeff Voigt as interim board member of Eastern Illinois Economic Development Authority. I'm filling in, Pete Templeton no longer wished to serve, so at this point I will, and if you so approve, and then we'll try to find somebody that could fill that on a regular basis, okay? A motion to approve?
Does that have to be a board member?
Yes. Oh, no, it does not have to be a board member, I'm sorry.
All right.
No, but they had some votes that they needed quorums for, and later on this month and last week, so I've been
And you're
filling
okay
in.
with it?
Yeah, yeah, it's very interesting, actually. So, but if there is another member of the board, or if you talk to a member of the public that would be interested in doing this, that would be great, because the more people we can involve in this kind of thing, the better off we all are, okay? A motion to approve or appoint, please?
So moved.
Derek moves,
Second.
Carl seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, it is approved. Thank you. I'll do the best I can. Next item is to resolution to reappoint William McCord, trustee, Metcalf Fire Protection District of Edgar County, Illinois. Motion to approve this resolution, please.
So moved.
Derek moves,
Second.
John seconds. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by, resolution, sorry.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Brunner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
Luddington,
Yes.
and Patrick.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution next to approve oath and bond for William McCord, trustee, Metcalf Fire Protection District of Edgar County, Illinois.
So moved.
Derek moves. Dan seconds. Further discussion? Would you call the roll?
Brunner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
Luddington,
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
It is approved. Next item is to resolution to appoint and accept oath and bond of Mark Gilbert, trustee, Drainage District Number 3, Town of Shiloh, County of Edgar, State of Illinois, until the first Tuesday in September 2020. And remember, we made an interim appointment to fill his father's position, and then now this is to give him a full term. So, motion to approve this resolution, please.
So moved.
Dan moves, John seconds. Any further discussion? Okay, Augie?
Brunner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
Luddington,
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
It is approved. Thank you, gentlemen. Next, request from Kiwanis Honeybee Committee to use courthouse lawn from 5 p.m. on Wednesday, September 20th until Sunday, the 25th of September. Sheriff, I assume you're aware of this?
I've been advised.
Okay.
No problems.
No problems?
Friend of
Any-
the honeybee.
Friend of the honeybee. Yeah. That's on my license plate.
I thought you and I were gonna shoot skeet that day on the courthouse lawn.
What's that?
I thought we were gonna shoot skeet that day on the courthouse lawn.
They'll be done at 5.
Are we done? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the request from the Honeybee Committee, please? Who did? Who moved? I couldn't. Oh, Dan moved. Who seconded it?
Write it down.
Who seconded it?
Derek.
Derek seconded. Okay. I can't still hear real good, so. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Next item, authorize chairman to cancel certificate of purchase on number 130007 for full payment of delinquent taxes. In other words, we'd sold this, but then the owner came up with the money, so we need to approve the cancellation of that and go forth. Okay, so motion to approve.
So moved.
Derek moves. Carl seconds. Roll call, please.
Bruner,
Here.
Chittick,
Yes.
Yes.
Farnum, Lorenzen,
Yes.
Luddington,
Yes.
and Patrick.
Yes. Pretty much so.
It is approved. Thank you, gentlemen. Next item is to authorize disposal of remaining contents of the Kreckman building. Andy, do you want to talk about this, or who wants to lead the discussion on this?
Well, we've already got very little interest from anybody to come look, to make any kind, you took a couple people down to look at
Two
what was
people.
in there.
Yep.
And no one was interested in what's there. So we're in the, and there really is, it's, anything that, like, there was some, stuff that the sheriff took that was, what was not,
Evidence.
yeah,
What's that?
some stuff out of the Kreckman building
Yeah.
that was, what do you call that?
Well, evidence.
Evidence. Well, thanks. Another, there's just a bunch of old broke, everybody's just put their junk in there for years, so it's really a bunch of junk, so we're just gonna, Bob said, I talked to Bob, and he's going around and putting some up in the dumpsters, the jail and different places and getting rid of Walmart.
We didn't say that, okay? Is there any action that we need to take at this point? Do we need to have a motion to officially rule this stuff as junk and get rid of it? I just caution everybody that wherever possible, we need to get receipts. If we go to the junkyard or we pay to have something picked up, we'll obviously have a copy that way, but we need to just be cautious and make sure that everything goes where it's going and doesn't go, there's no question about it coming over to my house or somebody else's house, okay? So,
And I've talked to Bob about that, and so he and I are on top of it. So, but yes, I think,
we just need to do it the
Authorization.
right way.
yes,
And-
is in order.
Did, Monday, you said, I think both of you were gonna see if you couldn't find Marty and see
Yeah.
what level of cleanliness he wanted the building in, I guess.
I'm gonna see, but I haven't talked to him yet.
Okay.
So can I have Dan, did you have,
I
go ahead.
mentioned one time about the computers. I think Indiana State has a program where they recycle computers, take stuff out and use it. Maybe somebody should contact them and ask if they want the old computers. Because I don't think you can throw them in the dump can.
No, we'd have to pay to have those taken
That's
away.
what I thought.
Well,
But-
Toby will, he's
Toby's
got a,
taking them.
yeah, he'll take those to recycle those.
Okay.
Okay, then if somebody local, well, then we're,
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
we
fine.
got somebody local to do that.
yeah, then that's
And it
good.
won't cost us anything.
Okay.
All right,
A lot of the computers were left there from, correct, a lot of that equipment was left there when we got the building, so it's not like much of it was, that was just what we inherited.
are we headed in the right direction, guys, then?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
I still think we should go on record with a motion to approve the disposal of all the material that we've deemed as non-saleable, okay?
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Andy?
Second.
Okay, Derek, seconds. So, roll call.
Certainly. Bruner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Luddington.
Yes.
And Patrick.
Yes.
Okay, next item is to appoint Dr. Reed Sutton to Public Health Department Board to fill vacancy of the late Dr. Phipps.
I apologize to Janet, I didn't have to go through her, so she says all right. I
Oh,
talked
thank
to Holly about
goodness.
it, so
Okay.
it was okay. so.
All right. So are you making that motion, Dan?
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We thank Dr. Sutton, and we certainly all miss Dr. Phipps. So, the next item is a request from the Crispin Fire Association for $1,000 from the Hotel Motel Fund to promote Crispin Day celebration, September 8th, 9th, and 10th. Now, they've been talked to. The original request was for $1,500. The request was pared down because our fund doesn't have as much in it, and out of prudence, we've asked them if they would accept the $1,000, and of course they will. Do you want to say anything more to that, Derek?
No. Anything else to add?
Entertain a motion to approve that, please.
So moved.
Derek moves, Carl seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? It does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. The state's attorney does not wish or need to meet with us today, so I just get that department or officer out of the way. Next, we move into the officer department head reports. Don, glad to see you.
Thank you. As you look at the, review the report in front of you, by the way, I'm numb from the dentist. I know, you know that's not gonna keep me from talking, but I try not to bite the inside of my gum here. I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is a snapshot, a second, 1 second of a snapshot of what we have in money. It changes. As you can see, I've made notations on your
They didn't get
your
it.
cash flow report,
Oh, okay.
or the budgetary status, because we got money in that I just didn't have time to receipt before the meeting today. Even though I was in the office early this morning, I just didn't have time. So I went ahead and made footnotes. It's a snapshot, and we've even got more money sitting in the safe from Clark County as reimbursement for public defender. But there's just still some discussion going on about the amount, nothing major. And so we don't feel good about receiving that in yet until we feel like it's good and solid. So don't ever think that these numbers are indicating anything more than just giving you information of what our cash flow is at that very moment. Regarding tax collections, we did the distribution. It hit the taxing district's account the last day of July. We needed it. I'm sure a lot of other places needed it. It was about a week later than what I wanted to, but we've been having just a learning curve with this new software and a few frustrations. I'm sure Dina and August would second that word, frustrations, during this learning process, but it's coming along. I hope next year the frustrations we're seeing aren't there. I'm hoping. Don't know until it happens. One last thing to say, and this is not directed to anybody, but I've got to say it. I have never been and never will be the chief financing officer of Edgar County, Illinois. I do not have the authority to make decisions. I am the Edgar County treasurer / collector. I know we get a lot of forms and stuff asking for the chief financing officer of the county to sign it. I do not have that authority. So please, just keep that in mind. I'm not being hard to get along with. I just needed to say that out loud to everybody since I have an audience. I'm just the humble Edgar County treasurer. All right? Any questions from anybody?
You don't like the title of CFO?
No, I don't like that. And you and Mr. Bruner need to quit fighting over approving stuff from your former students. Pete Spung, you know, there'll be other students on here you can
I have senior moments once in a while.
do what?
I have a senior moment once in a while.
Thank you. Do you have anything else to add, Aaron, at this
No,
point?
Dan told me I said enough Monday, so
What'd you say? I can't hear you.
How about you? And how's the ambulance service?
Our advanced EMT class starts Monday, and our EMT class is full, and it starts in September.
Okay. Okay. Dina?
The Edgar County aerial flight photography will be here on Monday.
Cool.
I'm thrilled. So we will take a day or two to get loaded on our computers, and hopefully shortly thereafter it will be on the website so the public can enjoy that. So
Okay.
that's my news.
So the public will be able to actually see the footage of the flight.
Yes, yes, it'll be on the website.
Joy may be a strong.
Any other questions, Adina? Angie?
I'm working on a plan to get rid of some of the files out of the basement, like we were talking. I have John Lancaster, I think it's HOV, and they're out of Rantoul, and they did our microfilming the last time we had some done. And he came and we went through, and he kinda told me what would be a good thing to start with, and so we're in the process of getting that going. And I have already sent in a request to destroy some of the old files, send it into the administrative office, but I haven't heard back yet, so everything else is going pretty good.
Thank you, Angie. Monty?
We have moved all of our junk out of the Kreckman building. And moved our files over, and we've got permission to store them off the courtroom upstairs, so we're just waiting on a few shelves, and we'll have all that stuff taken care of.
Yay, Bob, he has been a great.
He did.
He is.
He's hauled shelves and boxes for me, so I can't, very appreciative.
Any of the junk at the Kreckman building, or any of that junk shelves?
Yes,
That's what we need to do.
He's moving
Okay.
some of those, that's where it's hitting.
He said there's wooden shelves that he's brought over that we're using. I think he said he's putting metal shelves up in the former gallery for the state's attorney's files.
Okay,
That's it, thank you.
thank you. Send money. Sheriff?
I have nothing this time, thank you.
Okay. Hey, you haven't made any appointments, or has anybody been promoted or anything in your department?
You talking to me?
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
okay, all right.
I got one question. Has everybody got what they need to get out of the Kreckman building, as far as everybody? Okay, so.
I think I've got 2 items in that evidence room, big item I gotta get some help to get, but other than that.
So everything that's left,
Yeah,
basically.
it's trash.
Okay. Jill?
We just submitted, it's called like it's called an EOC grant. Basically it's to upgrade your EOC. You can use it for, like, say, replacing our doors, new phone systems, new tables, chairs, things like that. So that was submitted July 31st was done, so we should hopefully hear back something soon. We've just had a lot of trainings, or we have a lot of trainings coming up, and Bob put a new flagpole up for us out there, so that's about it.
Any questions? Tom?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Janet?
Not really very much. State fiscal year ended June 30th. We actually received one entire grant amount for the whole year, for the fiscal year 17 year. Finally came in the first week of July. So we did finally get our last fiscal year funds from the state. So that's really good. I feel really good that finally they got it done. But other than that, just applying for all the new grants and doing budgets for all of those. And that's kind of it.
Okay, thank you. Ken, nice to have you here today.
Great to be here. And first, as a Kiwanis, I want to thank you for approving our use of the lawn. The Pancake Tent's an important fundraiser, and that money goes back into programs supporting youth and families in the area. So thank you there. From HRC standpoint, has some good news. We are probably more, shall we say, fully staffed for clinical services than we've been in the 17 and a half years I've been at HRC. The only exception would be a psychiatrist, but I'm working on that with some primary care providers to see what we can sort out there. But what that means is in Edgar County, right now, there is no waiting list for mental health services. Matter of fact, for last month, we've been piloting same-day access or open access where someone can come in and get immediate, not only get enrolled, but get an assessment and be assigned a therapist all in the same day. That's about a 3-hour process. And there was a time when that might take 6 months to 9 months for all that to happen when we were backlogged. So you can see how important it is to have a full staff. Our substance use disorder treatment waiting list has been pared down to a very small number, and I'm sure Monica was very happy about that. And we have a goal to get to where we have open access both for substance use disorder treatment and mental health services in the very near future. We can hang on to our staff. And so that's a very good thing. What's made this possible is a combination of the state now having a budget. So thanks to you who have Pull and Springfield for making this happen. And if not, thanks for not blocking it from happening. So we have some money coming in. In addition, we have started an internship program that's worked very successfully for us to where we fill openings a lot of times through the seeds planted with having people come in from interns. We've always had interns, but we expanded this program. At any given time, we might have 5 or 6 master's level interns working in mental health and substance disorder treatment services. So that's working extremely well. I talked to colleagues, and they're really hurting for staff in some areas. So I feel blessed we've been able to overcome some of those challenges through our internship program and actually having money to be able to hire people and bring them in to provide these services. So thank you for your patience, particularly with probation and the courts. I think they may have already seen some improvement. It'll vastly improve as we continue to eliminate the waiting list that remains for SUD services. We eliminated the substance use disorder treatment service waiting list in Clark County already. So that's good news. The sooner you get someone in, we know the better the outcomes are likely to be. Appreciate it.
I see your staff at the hospital, they're very professional, and do an
Thank you.
excellent job.
Good to hear.
You have a satellite office down in Marshall?
Used to be an old Kentucky Fried Chicken
Right.
building, South 6th Street. 2006.
Okay, thank you. Augie?
Probably the most important thing I have is to let you know, as the keeper of the board's calendar, today is the 8th month and the 9th day of the 17th year, so 8 and 9 is 17. And that's important because my second grandson is due today, so I'm waiting on a phone call.
So did you hear anything about what Ken was saying, or did you just figure that out while Ken was talking?
I can repeat what Ken told me word for word.
Okay, all right. Because there's gonna be a quiz later. All right.
Other than that, waiting to hear from on the doors from Bacon Van Buskirk. Bob and I are in constant dialogue with the Kreckman Building contents. Let's see, our project, we're just getting ready to destroy a bunch of old records in the basement. I'm waiting to hear back from local records in Springfield. And so then, once we get approval, and again, to all the department heads, the shred pile is downstairs in one of our election rooms. And once we get it all together, then we'll get a hold of the shred truck and have them come. So we're just waiting for that. Business as usual.
Thank you, Augie. Any questions of Augie? Okay. We'll move into committee reports of the board. Dan?
Not a whole lot. Talked to Andrew the other day, we're still in the process of trying to find some food supply for the animals for next year. As you know, we were losing the free food from that too, and so probably have to do something in the budget to allow for either shipping of what we get or actually paying for the food. So a lot of the places around, like Walmart and Rural King, they want to charge full price, which I don't think we can afford to do those. So she is happy about the truck. I mean, it's better than the old one, and I've helped adopt out some animals because half the people in the hospital lab are taking dogs and cats, and I'm working on getting some of the animals out of the shelter out there, so.
Okay.
Other than that,
Mr. Bruner, is the pub, and I'm not trying to open up a hornet's nest here, do they accept bags of unopened food?
most of it goes to the Humane Society. That's been a problem. But we can put out maybe some type of thing of paper or barrels, what they do, and maybe put food in. But her problem is, and I understand that, you don't want to change food every week, because then you got intestinal problems. You don't know if it's the food supply or something that's going around in the shelter, so we're trying to get the same type of food, so we'll get something worked out, so. That is an idea, and we talked about that too, so.
Okay.
We'll do something.
Andy?
A couple things. Bob got a call from a company that said that they do clocks and bells on churches and courthouses. And so I called the guy, and he and I talked yesterday. I gotta go up and take some pictures of all of our equipment, our bell. But he talked like he might be able to fix the clock. He's got people that, I said, well, I think someone needs to rappel. He goes, it'd take a big crane to get up to that clock. He goes, I looked at it online, it'd take a big crane to get up there. But he says, we do have people that they hire to rappel and do that type of thing. So anyway, hopefully at least I got something going with someone. He also said that, asked when we'd had the bell looked at last. And I said, I talked to Bob, and he goes, well, that J.J. Smith that used to come by, he used to come by like twice a year and look at it. We hadn't seen him for a couple of years, so I don't even know if maybe he's not in business anymore. I don't know. But he said, you need to have that looked at. He goes, for example, a small brass bell runs around $18,000. If something goes haywire and it tears something up, he said a large one can go anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000, $60,000 for a big bell. He goes, I don't know what size yours is.
It's a nice size.
Yeah. Well, huh?
I said it's a nice size.
It's a size.
Size
I know
man.
you don't want to go up there at the wrong time. I've been up there when the thing was off. When I were up there when it went off. Sharon and I were looking, all of a sudden, ding, I said, well, I'm glad it's not 12 o'clock. Yeah, it was definitely. So anyway, I'm gonna have fun looking at that. I had they called me yesterday and said they got the radiator removed out of the way in probation. It had been leaking and rotted the floor out there, so they removed the radiator, and I'm gonna get someone in now to fix the floor. We've got 2 or 3 other places where that needs to be done too, but
It was in and around the valve.
it's around the valve. See, what happened is it evidently leaked, and then when it leaked, it sagged, which caused it to leak even more.
All right.
So there's two or three of them that have like a little pan under them where it's been leaking a while.
I remember you talking about that. Is there like a valve guy? Is there, we need to replace them? I mean, what's
Yes,
the answer to
we're
that?
gonna
We
put,
just
yeah, we're gonna put new,
do all of them?
yes, I wanna do all of
Might as
them.
well do all of them.
Because I don't think no valves have been replaced or repacked or anything that I'm aware of for
Since they were put in.
probably since they were put in. So we're gonna systematically, hopefully go through while the heat's off during the summer, replace and fix any floors that need fixed. So we started that process right now.
Okay.
But
The
that's,
elevator, any updates on that?
well, I'm working with Arnie Johnson and the engineering firm out of Chicago. And I've kind of asked him about what his input on the elevator would be also. He might be able to work.
Are they the roof people?
The roof, we're working on something now. I haven't gotten anything concrete back from him yet. I mean, we're talking, he's asking questions, I'm giving answers, but at this point, we're gonna try to get an engineer's estimate what it's gonna cost to redo the roof. So he's working on that right now.
Thank you, Andy. What?
No pay, no heat, Monty.
That's all right with me. No arguing.
We gotta stop picking on him somehow.
Yeah, you started it when you said,
Send money?
said money.
Phil? John?
Nothing.
Carl?
Sheriff, I know last month I mentioned about a couple of the lights shining on the bell tower weren't working, and then last week I was at Savoya's eating, and I noticed 2 lights over here, they kick on, maybe be on for a minute, then back off. Then they come back on, and then I checked over here on this side, and the same thing, there's, I think, the one over here. So, I know
That's the small,
the ones down on the ground that shine up on the tower. Because like on the south side over here, you know, it's dark.
I talked to Bob, he's got a couple of new lights ordered.
is it the light or not on timer?
Timer.
And he said the lights, he thought the light, well, he said the lights were out, and he had the electrician come and look at it, and he said it was the transformers inside the lights that had gone out. He said to replace that transformer is like $450 for the transformer. A whole new LED light is $500. So I said, well, the LED light's much more efficient. So my understanding is he's ordered 2 of them.
They're gonna be the same color.
They're not gonna be the same color. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, 'cause I talked to him about it also, and apparently the transformers, they've had several that have, a couple others have gone out, according to the electricians, and they're all hitting their time limit. And Bob's thought is just to, start replacing them around to get them all, so they are all the same color, but you have to start someplace and work your way around, so.
Right.
With that high power of an LED, I don't know how much variance there is in the frequency, the heat level or whatever, as far as the color of the light, right? So I don't
It's a
know.
wider light.
Is there any options as far as trying to max them up as close as possible, or is it just your standard LED
I
light?
think given the fact that all of them are around the same, I have the same trouble with my parking lot lights, I have to replace transformers, and when one of them starts, it seems like it's, within that year, you replace all of them.
Mhm.
But, since all of these were put in about the same time, they're all gonna go out within probably a year or 2. So he's gonna start with 2 of them, put those 2 in, and then, and it's supposed to be the same amount of light, it's a different color light. And then when the others,
And you're just saying there's no option as far as the different colors of the LED lights?
no, LED comes in that, it's a wider light, and that's just the color it comes in.
For the big ones?
And part of the reason they're thinking starting 2 rather than going all at once is to see what they've got. Because it will be a little bit different light, and I don't remember the numbers, there's 3 different options that they think might work. And, until you get them up there and see them at night. Yeah.
And that's according to the electrician.
Yeah,
Light of that kind of a pinkish.
That's what
Close
Yeah.
to it, don't
the sodium is a bigger light.
Right.
Metal halite's a wider, starker light.
Yeah, just from buying bulbs for my house, which are somewhat different. The
Right.
LED have a range of, their temperature varies from, white light to, more yellow lights now, but I don't know.
Seems to me like there was 3 of them that were going off and on, 2 over here and 1 here.
Just have a dance party out there. Strobe light.
As it relates to your area, Carl, I did talk to Mark Rosillo yesterday. We talked, he's aware, they're fine, okay?
And you haven't heard from Kirk.
No, I would tell you. No, we haven't heard anything.
Okay. But
I
as
think
soon
I
as he
talked to
hears
him.
something, he's gonna let us know.
Yeah, he said the minute he knew something, he would let us know and let Augie know, so we
Because we
could
need to get that information so we can set up our meeting, hopefully next week, because then there's gonna be a 2 or 3 week period in there that we can't meet.
Right.
So hopefully we can do it next week.
There's some
Or-
negotiations.
Yeah.
We may have to have a committee meeting to get together and
Right.
to send them our
Or the
response.
first part of the week of the 21st.
Yeah.
So let me know, then we'll set up a time and get a couple dates to them, see if.
Yes, sir. Okay, Derek?
So, we got this letter in front of us from the Illinois Department of Transportation. That is a follow-up to the email we received from the Attorney General's office in regards to our zoning issue. That was more perfunctory. Hey, sorry it took so long, you're good to go. This is the actual official document from IDOT. This one references the follow-on project. So we will work that piece out once we get back to the table in Springfield as far as how we're gonna lay things out. So there are several.
I am sorry. This is what happens when you're a married man.
Unprofessional.
I ain't turning it off. Mother?
So, we've got about, depending on how we can put them together, we've got 2 or 3 projects out there that are kind of on the higher end of priority. One is the one that's been in discussion for a while now, which is the expansion of the ramp space and the fuel farm. At most recent meeting, we were going to take the east side ramp expansion and move that to a different project. We still might be able to put those together depending on what bids look like. That's still in work. The follow-on project is taxiway repair. That parallel taxiway is in need of some updating. And then the final piece, as far as anything in the near future we need to do, is basically add another piece of taxiway to allow flow through so they don't have to back taxi and have to stop and go when we are busy. To that end, Tom, we done with sprayers for the most part?
For the most part, we have one working right now.
Okay, what was our max?
6 on the deck at once.
So is that 6 total flying out of there at that time, or is that 8 or more? Just we had 6 on the deck at once?
Well, 6 maximum.
6 total, okay. So obviously that is a big piece of the economy of this county, keeping farmers going, keeping their fields free of various pests, and that is a important linchpin there. Otherwise, they're flying out of other places, more fuel, less time on station, things like that. The other piece, talking to Al last week, he asked if we could move forward with our beacon issue just to expedite the FAA speed bump we're dealing with. So, Tom, you got that email. I was able to read it. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I tried to send something back. My phone exploded basically when I tried to do that. But my understanding is there's another piece to that beacon that we weren't tracking on that needs to be put in place. Was that your understanding?
We knew about that, and it's in the prospective bid letter.
Okay.
That's a requirement. It's
So
amount.
you put in something about a rebid, or he put in something about that. We have to go through the bidding process again?
Yes.
And why is that?
I don't know.
He didn't explain?
I don't have a good answer there.
Okay, and that was Scott that told you that?
Yes.
Okay. I may reach out to him because those bids were done within the last 6 months, for sure.
Well, one thing, those were email bids, and that's not a good thing. We need
Okay.
hard copy bids.
Okay. Timeline on that, best guess? No idea?
I've got a letter ready to send him for approval.
Is that the last piece we're missing?
Yes.
Is that, okay. So we are proceeding forward with that. Per the email, total cost of that project, approximately $10,000. Just to keep in mind, we talked about, we're now in the process of trying to get reimbursed by us having any kind of grants help us with that. Keep in mind that this will not be a 90-5-5, it'll be a 90-10. The state has no part in it. So worst case, we'll be on the hook. Well, worst case, we pay for the whole thing, we don't get reimbursed. I don't plan for that to be the case. Once we get all and that's why we're taking our time with this, to make sure our ducks in a row, to ensure that we get reimbursed for this project. With that reimbursement, we'll be on the hook for $1,000 of this total project when it's complete. So, any questions for me on any of that? Cool.
Okay, thank you, Derek. I really don't have anything. Is there a need for a closed session today? Okay. Is there anything else you have a question of me about? Yes, Augie.
I do remember that just a day or two ago, I received information from our insurance consultants that we're coming up on our third year. Actually, we're going to be completing our third year of our property and casualty and liability insurance. And they are suggesting that we bid it out. And so I did make contact with the insurance committee. And so just, we need to start thinking about that and discussing that. So
Is that the end of the budget year,
that'd be the end of the calendar year.
calendar year when it expires?
Yes.
The other thing is, we did authorize a bid out on the audit, but given the up-in-the-air status of how we're gonna do that audit with the state and the comptroller's office, we're kind of putting that off for a month or two so we have clarification on that. There's no sense in getting a bid in to cover something that we're not gonna do. So we're just kind of holding off till we find out from Chapin Rose and some of the others what we're gonna be doing, okay?
So in that email on it, it talked about we did a repeated bid process year after year. Is that, am I tracking on that?
We're back to the insurance now, the
Yes,
general
sorry.
liability.
They recommend every 3 years.
Right. So my question is, if we're just at the cusp of when we probably should think about it, are we hurting ourselves since we were like back-to-back 3 years in a row doing that? Or did I miss the point of that email?
No,
Did you see what I'm talking about? Did you?
yeah, the problem, I mean, technically, you could let it out every year, but the problem with doing that is companies get to where they're, I'm not gonna bid on it, they're gonna give it to somebody else next year. So in order to be really competitive, they'll come in, they'll give you a pretty good, normally, you know, they're gonna cut it, and at least they feel like they're gonna get 3 years out of it. So
Right.
that's kind of a normal
Right.
process.
And I guess it was to that end that I'm asking that question. It seemed to me, and maybe I read it wrong in the email, that we had gone through a process in a few years back where we had back-to-back done the wrong thing and asked for bids. So I'm wondering if we, you know, if it helps us at all to extend it another year prior to bid process as far as our rates go, or it doesn't matter?
You know, my feelings are, if you say you're gonna put it out there for bid, the company that you're presently with feels like they gotta sharpen their pencil a little, and anybody else that comes in isn't gonna take it away from them unless they sharpen their pencil. So I look at it as a good thing to at least let everybody know that we're interested in bidding it.
Right.
And we're gonna, probably every 3 years, we're probably gonna bid it. I think that's something you need to do that. Because they have insurance companies have all kinds of benefits they give you the first time, and then once they get you, then the rates.
Kind of like satellite TV.
Yeah, right.
If we bid it, are we obligated to take low bid?
Yes.
That's
That
a
meets
service issue.
that meets specification.
Okay.
It has to meet specification.
Well, I'm
And if-
just thinking, you know, from our own personal experience, sometimes it's not worth saving $50 a year to change companies.
Right.
So,
Of course, that's why we have Bushu. They're gonna analyze the bid and tell us what their opinion is as far as what's, because everybody hangs different ornaments on the tree,
sure.
okay? And sometimes the ornaments aren't as good as what they look like, so,
Sometimes they're edible.
yeah. But you can't tell your wife that, because then they get upset. All right, but that's another story. Yes,
Are
Carl?
we on the timetable that we need to be on with Bushu on the health insurance?
Yeah, we're just, it all hinges on what we hear from Kirk.
Yeah. Okay.
We're actually not planning on bidding this,
Right.
so,
That has to be decided before October 1st,
yes.
or actually,
Or there, oh, yeah, absolutely.
before
Really,
that, sometime
before-
next month.
Right, it should be by, yeah.
It should have been this month.
Yeah, if we should happen to decide that we're gonna bid it, we're gonna have a special meeting to do
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Is that,
that's absolutely right.
all right. Anything else? Good questions, so I guess I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Derek moves,
Second?
John seconds. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thank you all. Thank you, John.